Welcome, everyone. If you will look at the sheet of paper you have, if you need the words Tehine Matov, it's right there if you get going. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Nei matzot u'manayim she'ena gam yachad. Nei matzot u'manayim she'ena gam yachad. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to parents. Welcome to students. Welcome to alumni. I'm Jeff Levin. I'm the senior Jewish educator, so I lead services. This is Jordan Teitelbaum, who will be also singing and leading services tonight. If you will please turn in your Siddur to page 1 for Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Mishoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Kemo Haya Yishtachavel Mul Hadarecha Yaravlo Yadidotecha Mino Fetzuv Bechotam. Please turn to page 2 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon, Miri Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Miri Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Please turn now to page 3 as we continue with Kabbalah Shabbat and Lechu Niranana. Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Ladonai. Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Lechu Niranana, Ladonai. Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Nekadma Fanav Betoda. Naria, Litzur Yishenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechu Niranina, Ladonai. Lechu niranina, Ladonai. Jump to 5 lines from the bottom. Arba'im shana akut bedor, ve'omaram toeh levavhem, vehem lo yad'u derachai, asher nishbati v'apihi, im yivauhu el menuchati. Turn to page 4. Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, havu ladonai b'nei elim, havu ladonai kavod va'oz, havu ladonai kavod shema, ishtachavu ladonai adrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai lehadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, Vayakidem kimo egel, Levanon v'siryon, kimo ben reimim. Kol Adonai, Otev Lavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Yecholel Ayalot, Vayachesuf Yarot, Uvhechalo, Kulo Meher Kavod. Adonai lamabu yashaf, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai os leamo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. All right, everyone, please turn the page to page 5 for Chazodi. We will sing every alternate verse to the verses that begin Shamor, Hitoveri, and of course, Boiva Shalom at the very end. Likrat Galav, B'nei Shabbat, Ekavela. Shalom is our God, Yishmiani Lachon Yuchad, I am God, Yishmael God, the Shem is the Lechadodi. Likrat Galav, B'nei Shabbat, Ekavela, Likrat Galav, B'nei Shabbat, Ekavela. Yitzurei, Shiva Orech Yori, Uvidu Isher Zabedi, Tikol Adonai Elohim Nikra, Lechadodi, Likrat Galav, B'nei Shabbat, Ekavela, Lechadodi, Likrat Galav, B'nei Shabbat, Ekavela. If everyone please rise and face the rear of the room.
Shalom ater bala, Gam nisim tov sochola, tov
לקראת גאלה, בני שבת, נקבלה, וחברי, לקראת גאלה, בני שבת, נקבלה. All right, we're gonna. Jordan is going to sing a song that she wrote called "Above the Noise."
Thanks. Okay, so just to preface this, I wrote this song a few weeks after October 7th happened. There's been obviously a lot of rising hatred in our world, a lot of things that we can't really ignore, a lot of things that we obviously as a community get really angry, get really sad about. And this song basically is supposed to say to try to treat others with the respect and kindness that we want and that we deserve. So it's called Above the Noise, and I hope you enjoy. And if you start to learn, please sing along, because I don't like hearing myself sing, so please help me. Unhappy.
There are nights when the sun won't start to rise.
There are moments of you
where nothing you do can change the course of life.
There are people
yearning for hatred.
There are tears forming rivers from our eyes. There are seconds of fear, but you feel you can do whatever you know will be right. Because we're one love,
one heart.
We are more than the words
that shake us apart.
We are one gift, one voice, and we have the choice
to lift ourselves above the noise.
To lift ourselves above the noise. There are days when the world starts to crumble. There are nights when things begin to fall apart. There are hours of you when you know you can't do the many things people ask of you. There are moments you feel your voice whisper when everything shuts down if you try. There are minutes of you where you think what you do will only be passed on by. But we're one love,
one heart. We are more than the words that shake us apart.
We are one gift, one voice,
and we have the choice to lift ourselves above the noise. To lift ourselves above the noise. Because we're one love, one heart. We are more than the words that shake us apart. We are one gift, one voice, and we have the choice to lift ourselves above the noise. To lift ourselves above the noise.
So let's lift ourselves above the noise. We should lift ourselves above the noise. Above the noise.
Thank you. Good, that was really good.
Thank you.
As we'll now move into the Maariv service sort of proper, please turn now to page 6 and Rise for Baruch Hu. We sort of interpolate a song called Am I Awake, which are the words to which are on the sheet that you have as well, if you need them. Yalla lie lie lie, 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie, lie, lie. 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 Yalla lie, lie, lie.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam Vaed, Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated. Turn to page 7 for Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limahateta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shachveinu u'vkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayeinu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem negeh yomam v'layla V'avatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruchata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. If everyone will please rise on page 8 and 9 for the Shema and V'ahavta. And we will recite these as a community the way we do. We will recite all of the Shema and V'ahavta in Hebrew on page 8, the transliteration on page 9, followed by the Shema and V'ahavta again in English, which is entirely on page 9. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Silently. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'otecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh. Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Alevavecha V'shinatam Levanecha V'dibarta Bam V'shivtecha B'veitecha U'lechtecha V'derech U'shachbecha U'vkumecha U'shartam Leot Ha'yadecha V'hayu L'tosafot B'neinecha U'taftam Amizuzot Beitecha U'visharecha. Now together on page 9. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Praised be the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty is forever and ever. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hands and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Please be seated. Turn to page 11 for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat Shabbat Bedor Berizona Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et Shabbat Asot Et Shabbat Bedor Berizona
B'nei Yisrael,
Oti Be'ona Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et Shabbat Asot Et Shabbat Bedor Berizona Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai Et HaShamayim Ve'et HaAretz Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Asot Et HaShabbat Bedor Berizona Vayom HaShvi'i Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et Shabbat Asot Et Shabbat Bedor Berizona. All right, turn back one page. Michamocha.
who is like you?
Adonai. Who is like you?
Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Adonai.
All right, this is the time in the service where I'd like to take a moment to talk a little bit about this week's Parsha. Like I would guess 90 to 95% of the people in this room, I sleep with my phone next to me. I actually do have a clock. Maybe it's because I'm almost 40, but I still use my phone for my alarm. I use my phone for pretty much everything else that I would need. It's typically on silent during the day. I think most of us keep our phones on silent. But at night, I have it on a do not disturb setting. Of course, if anybody, my family, my parents, my brothers need to call me at 2:33 in the morning, it's probably something I need to pick up. Now, twice now in the last year, I've gone to sleep thinking everything was normal. And I have woken up to, of course, catastrophic news from Israel. This week, as everyone in the room knows, our hearts were broken by the news of the execution by Hamas of 6 hostages. One of the blessings of reading the Torah in full every year is that the text doesn't change, but we change. The circumstances in which we are reading it change. The context in which we are thinking about these words changes, and we can learn new lessons from it. We get to read the Torah with entirely different eyes every year. This week's parsha is Shoftim. and it contains one of the most famous phrases from the entire Torah. Justice, justice, you shall pursue. And so as I was preparing my Devar Torah for this week, I could not help but read that without thinking of what justice might look for in the case of Carmel, Eden, Hirsch, Alexander, Almach, and Ori. Is it military retribution? Is it a deal? Justice for whom? Justice is a term that doesn't have one specific meaning. Is justice possible in this case? This particular parsha even discusses the fact that there are cases, there are situations, there are circumstances that are so complicated that humans are not able to fully understand, fully come to a conclusion. These necessitate the intervention of Hashem. As I woke Sunday morning and was absent-mindedly, sort of in shock, scrolling through Instagram, I saw a lot of people, a lot of organizations post Ein Milim. There are no words. This is posted a lot, and it's understandable. When we're confronting something that is so gut-wrenching, so catastrophic and utterly devoid of humanity, it feels like nothing we can say will be sufficient. I want to tell you that I don't think that's true. I don't think that there is a situation for which we don't have words. In fact, I think in situations like this, we should use all the words we have. Mourning is so often a solitary act. We are alone with our grief. Our grief is individual. We may be sharing it with the community, but the grief that we feel is individual. Guests come to our house from Minyan. They come to our house to say Kaddish, but they depart. They go home. They go back to their lives to some extent, and we're left alone with our thoughts. And we feel, in these cases, like the floor might open up and swallow us. And maybe that would be something that we would welcome, a little bit of respite. But I want to pitch you on the value of words. And because when we mourn, we're not really so much mourning for the death. We're mourning for what we have lost, the years and perhaps decades of memories we won't get to create. For moments frozen in time we can never revisit. But that's the thing about our individual memories, is that they are inadequate. Memory is a copy of a copy. It resembles the person who's gone. You see the outlines, you can tell who it is, but it doesn't have the vibrancy. It lacks what made them who they were. And so I want to offer that words fill in the gap. We sit together and we describe them. We talk about who we lost. We tell stories that make us laugh so hard we cry. And then we tell stories that make us cry tears of sadness. But as we do, and as we use all the words that we have at our disposal, these memories, these copies of copies, they start to gain their sharpness again. We can remember the person who we lost as they were in life, and not just as someone who has died. We, as a Jewish people, are in mourning. But we know that in our religion, mourning can be a collective process. We saw it here on Monday night when we had a spontaneous gathering of, I think there were 40 people in that room over there. Gathering, being together, talking about the people we as a community had lost. But not just here at UCF, around the world, we saw the same thing. We gathered to mourn. We gathered to feel like we were a place where we belonged. We gathered because a burden shared is a burden lessened. And little by little, these names that we probably had never heard before October 7th came into focus as real people, and not just pictures, and not just names. And I do hope that as we enter this Shabbat and enter the next week, that this next week will bring better, happier, and more peaceful news. Shabbat Shalom. Please turn to page 12 for Chatzi Kaddish. Yikadav v'yitkadash shemei rabbah ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon Uchaye Ticho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, V'yemuru, Yeheshmei Rabba Mivorach, Ve'olam Olam Me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, Yitbar V'yitzrumam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitale, V'yitala, Shemei Kudusha, Ehila, Miko Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Tahamiram, V'yama, V'yamaru. Amen. You all please rise on page 13 as we begin the Amidah. We will recite the first two pages as a community together, followed by time for individual reflection and introspection. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Zocher Chasei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Mani, Baruch atah Adonai, Arkein Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav L'Hoshia Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye Hakol V'Rachamim Abim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Olim, Umatzir Asurim, Umekayeh Emunato, Vishenei Afar, Nichamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidon Melech, Melech Mebit, Umechayeh, Umasniach Yeshua, Nemanatah HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. You may continue praying silently, and when you are done, and there is certainly no rush, you may be seated. On the bottom of page 17. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atah hu melech adon Shalom, Ki atah hu Shalom, Shalom Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. All right, at this time, I would like to call up Damon and Tracy Weiss to offer a prayer for children.
He wants to do it in Hebrew?
And
English?
Jared? Oh,
Just in English, okay?
yeah.
All right. May you be like Ephraim and Manasseh, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah. May God bless you and keep you. May God shine light on you and be gracious to you. May God turn towards you and grant you peace.
Thank you. We will continue on page 19 with Misha Berach, which, as I say every week, is not just a prayer for physical healing. It is for that, but for spiritual and emotional, communal healing, which certainly I think at this moment we could all use. We're on page 19. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'imotzeinu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us sing Amen. Misha Berach Imotzeinu Mikor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us sing Amen. All right, will please rise on page 20 for Hallelujah. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'ateit kedula liyotzeh reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu ka'em, v'gor aleinu k'chol amunah, v'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Emet Malkeinu, Efezulato, Katuv b'Torato, V'yadata hayom, V'hashevota elevavecha, Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, B'shamayim ima'ah, V'ya'aretz mihizachat einot v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo continue with Mortar's Kaddish. If everyone will remain standing this week. On page 21. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah v'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayachon v'yom echon v'chayid l'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'bizman kariv v'yemru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah m'barach le'olam v'lamei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yitzadar v'yitzalev v'yitzhalal shmei l'kudusha Le'ela min kol berchata shvirata tush bechata v'nechamata da'mi ran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yom kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yom kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Please be seated. All right. I have a few announcements. On Sunday, there's an NFL watch party at 1 o'clock in the theater or somewhere upstairs at Hillel. Go Dolphins. On Monday, nothing on Monday. Sorry, on Tuesday, Kindness Cart is at 11 a.m. Wednesday, there is at 6:30 p.m. There is a falafel bar nosh that is upstairs at Hillel as well. Thursday, we are having a bagels tabling at on the mall at 12 o'clock. So come get some bagels. Also Thursday evening, there is Israeli trivia with Omri, our Israel fellow. Is Omri in here? No. With our Israel fellow Omri at 6:30. There are prizes. There is candy. It's on the second floor. Everyone should come. On Friday, there is Shabbat at 6:30. I forgot, tomorrow, there is a tailgate before the game. It is at 4:30. It is at a time before the game. You know, anyone who was here last year, this is much better. Actually, I'm a little bit more organized with the announcements than I was last year. What's up? It's either 3 or 3:30. I've been told from the back of the room. Anything else that I missed? I'm glad to see so many parents. I'm glad to see so many alumni. I'm glad to see so many students, of course, first and foremost. We will end this evening on page 22 with Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Allah. B'terem go, Yitzir Nivra, V'yeinasa, L'chetzu kol. Azar melech shemo nikra Adon Olam, V'yacharei Kichlot hakol, Levado yimloch nora Adon Olam, V'hu haya, V'hu hoveh, V'hu yeh b'tifara Adon Olam, Hashem Allah. B'terem kol, Yitzir nivra, aleit nasa, v'chetzu kol. Azar melech shemo nikra Adon Olam, v'hu echad, v'ein sheni, lahamshilo lahachbira Adon Olam, v'li reishit, v'li tachlit, Adon Olam nisra Adon Olam, Hashem Allah. B'terem kol, Yitzir nivra, aleit nasa, v'chetzu kol. Azar melech shemo nikra Adon Olam, v'hu eli, v'chai goali, v'tzurchach li b'eit zara Adon Olam, v'hu nisi, umanos li, menakosi b'yom ekra Adon Olam, Hashem Allah. B'terem kol, Yitzir nivra, v'nasa, v'chetzu kol. Azar melech shemo nikra Adon Olam, v'yado afki ruchi, v'eit tishan v'ha'ira Adon Olam, v'iti kiviyati, Adonai v'lo ira Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us next door for dinner. We will start with motzi and kiddush and motzi. Please, if you could make piles of your siddurim and papers, that would be awesome. But if not, that's awesome too. It's YouTube.